Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me on another Friday live stream here on the Naked and Famous Denim Instagram channel. I'm going back and forth between Instagram and YouTube. Basically what I should be doing before I ever go on YouTube is announcing it here, but I didn't get a chance to do like a preempted announcement. So I'm back on Instagram today. I will have the live stream uploaded to YouTube later on. What jacket is this? This is the new corduroy patchwork jacket. So it's pretty neat, huh? So it's two different colors of corduroy all in one jacket. Very, very fun jacket to wear in the fall. Now it's starting to get pretty cold out there. Somebody asked, when is the Vegeta Prince of All Saiyan Sun drop? Well, tongue-tied. The Vegeta denim was launched this morning, so hopefully for those of you who wanted to get a pair, you were able to get a pair. If you're having trouble finding a pair, send me a message. I'll do my best to see what I can do to try and find one for you. Yeah. Okay. I keep complaining about my phone, and I'm going to keep complaining about it again. It's not the best phone, so sorry about the image quality. Picked up the Vegeta's today at NYC store. Thank you so much for coming out to the store today. We had a couple of people here, Tati and Yoko, show up right when the door opened. If you're watching, thanks for coming out. I was helping people. I was in the store folding jeans, and all of a sudden people showed up, which is what happens when you open a store. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Not every retailer has dropped the Vegeta denim yet. That is correct. Some people haven't received their shipments yet for a variety of reasons, and some people just haven't launched it yet. Anyway, we had our launch date, and we asked our retailers not to launch it before that particular date, and some people can choose to launch it after. That's kind of up to them. Okay. We'll go in a 40. I will have to double check for you. I know that the production just arrived in our warehouse, so we're sorting through the we're sorting through the orders right now, making sure that everything's being shipped out to all of our retail partners. And to let you guys know, I did order for our retail stores up to 42. It's just if there isn't enough demand from our other retail partners as well for other sizes. If we don't have enough production planned for a certain size, it doesn't get made. So I think that's kind of what happened. So that's why you didn't see any 40s in the Vegetas. Sorry about that. I wish we had them, but unfortunately we did not. So you'll know what sizes we have and what we don't have when you see the measurement guides go up, because if there's no size there, it means we don't got it. We don't have it. Little grammar there. Every time I scroll up on my screen, it gives me some little minor problems. Okay. Oh, it keeps happening. Sorry about that. I know it's a little boring to watch me because I'm trying to read your messages here. A lot of hellos. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Totally understand about the production sizes. Thanks for your understanding. I've been getting a lot of emails, things like that, so I'm trying to answer as many questions as I can about the release as possible. And I've recommended people to join us here because we do have a great conversation every week talking about all the new releases and, denim stuff, denim theory, how to wash your jeans, how to care for your jeans, that kind of stuff. So I'm always having a good time chatting with you guys about that. Pokemon collaboration, that'd be a good one. And we have some collaborations in the works, and we have some partnerships that we are seeking out. So there will be more fun and interesting and, glorious collaborations down the road. And of course, I'm listening to you guys, and I think we're all pretty much on the same wavelength when it comes to our interests and hobbies. So for us, it's about partnering with properties and brands and things that we really love, things that came, especially things that came from our childhood. Sometimes I also feel that it's my birthday next week, and I'm getting old. And we have a lot of younger staff in the building now, and they don't know about some of the things we talk about, and it makes me feel older every day. So there was a point in my life where I could make a Seinfeld reference, and everybody knew that, but now a lot of people don't know what that means, which is weird. So I have to keep telling people to watch all of my old shows. But what's going to happen when they start making references that I don't get? Then I'm really going to be old. I'm getting a lot of gray here. Look at that. When I started here at Naked and Famous, there was no gray. Now I've got fields of gray. Getting old. What are you going to do? What sizes tend to be the best stocked sold? So the most popular sizes are 30 to 34. So we usually have the most there. 36 is starting to become more and more like in the most popular range, and 30 is kind of edging a little bit less. Over the years, we've noticed that the more popular sizes have been gradually getting a little bit bigger. Okay. Any plans to pre and post soak, sell pre? No, we're probably not going to sell jeans pre-soaked. We're just not going to do that. Well, I don't know, maybe one day, but we're not looking to do a lot of that. The reason for it also is because imagine everything that we offered it in pre and post soak. I mean, we make a lot of stuff. And we have a pretty big warehouse, but we don't have that big of a warehouse. If you have a product range that is a dozen styles, okay, that's fine. But, we have, I think in just core, we're almost at, how many core styles do we have? 30? Risa says sure. So imagine that, plus all of our seasonal stuff, which is another 25 to 30 styles a year offered in both. And we usually carry several hundred units in stock at any given time. So my warehouse is about 20,000 jeans back there. I don't know if I would be able to have even more jeans than that back there. In fact, I know I don't have the room for it. And other people keep asking me for multiple inseams. Imagine we did multiple inseams in pre and post soak forms of jeans. We're not that big to be able to do that. Maybe one day, maybe when we're the size of the Gap, but I don't think we're going to get there anytime soon. Transformers collab, you heard it here first. Actually, I was looking into that today, but if it happens, I'll let you guys know. DBZ line looks great. Really excited for the Trunks set. Trunks, I think a lot of people are the first Vegeta and Trunks. Everything is getting a lot of love, but boy, do I hear a lot for those two. Trunks will be a great release. I'm really looking forward to doing the final release of the Dragon Ball series just in a few weeks. It's kind of there was a lot of work that was put into this project, as you guys can well imagine, and even up to just today's release, every day there was something that had to be planned and organized, and we released it this afternoon. Everything seemed to go off without a hitch, and it just right now I'm kind of in the eye of the storm moment where everything's kind of calm, and I'm okay, great, let's get to the next release. So we have, of course, we have some fantastic releases coming up. We've got Lord of Nep next week. That's going to be a big one. So I've got a lot of things to prepare for that. And then we've got Goku the week after. That's a big one. So a lot of imagery to get out there, a lot of stories to tell. And I'm moving, so that's also a lot of fun. So a lot of things going on in Behzad's life. Joined a bit late. Have you mentioned when the other DBZ denim will drop? Yes. Well, actually, on our website, on nakedandfamousdenim.com and on Tati and Yoko, there is a product release schedule. So you can see when, in fact, there's a product release schedule for the entire fall collection, and there's a product release schedule for the Dragon Ball collection. So you can find out when everything launches right there on the website. DC Comics Collab on the road, in the road. I've reached out to them. I mean, everything you guys can imagine, believe me. You know me at this point, so I think you kind of know the way my brain works. Yeah, DC would be fun. Marvel said no. But that's okay. There's things change down the line. But I am pursuing. I mean, of course, you guys know me. I know you. It's I think the next project. Of course, we've got Ghostbusters coming up. We've got Toxic Avenger. We're gonna keep knocking these ones out of the park. G.I. Joe. I really like G.I. Joe. Especially as a child. No, obviously, all the other kids, we all have those action figures, but I'm not a G.I. Joe fan to the extent that I really know all the characters. Cobra Commander and Sergeant Slaughter, but, beyond that, like Nightshade, beyond that, like, it would be very hard for me to tell you the differences between the characters without doing a full refresher of watching the entire series. Yeah, that's, of course, I was just, I'm more of a, casual fan or nostalgic fan of G.I. Joe, but not a diehard fan, perhaps. Happy almost birthday. Thank you very much. Rambo inspired. I do love Rambo. I have a giant Rambo First Blood. In fact, it's not called Rambo First Blood. It's just called First Blood. So I have a First Blood poster in my house, like an original movie poster from the release. So I am a humongous Rambo fan. I'm very much looking forward to Final Blood. I'm the kind of guy who goes into a movie pretty fresh. I don't want to know anything about it. I watched the trailer. That's all I know. I don't want to know anything else about the story other than what I can figure from that trailer. Yeah, Rambo. Good old John Rambo. Older. Nah, I'm getting old. TMNT. I am a big Ninja Turtles fan. That is for sure. There's these really cool Ninja Turtles action figures from a company called NECA Toys, NECA, and I have to get them. I really have to get those. They made ones based off of Turtles 2, and they made these really great action figures based off of the animated series, and the figures look just like the animated series. If you haven't seen these figurines yet, you really should look them up. If you're a Ninja Turtles fan, that is. And I really have to buy them, but I'm moving, and I don't want to keep buying stuff, and then I have to move it. Yeah. So I'm in a weird zone right now where I like spending money. I like shopping for toys and things like that, and I'm kind of not because of moving them. These pretzels are making me thirsty. That's right. We can talk about Seinfeld all day. I'm gonna not go down that road. Otherwise, we're gonna have a conversation only about Seinfeld. Need a Naked and Famous and PBS collab. Arthur the Aardvark jeans. Was Dora the Explorer on PBS as well? That would kind of be funny. Barney the Dinosaur or something like that. But I don't know. There's one thing to make kind of a humorous, satirical gene, just for the sake of it. Or there was a show called Ghost Rider on PBS. I don't know if you guys remember that one. I really liked that show. And I remember watching it as a child because it was, I believe the show took place in New York. It was in Brooklyn or something. And I remember learning the word bodega from that store and going to New York for the first time, and people are actually using the word bodega. I'm like, oh, just like in Ghost Rider. Not Ghost Writer, not Rider, not like the Flaming Skull Marvel character. I'm 27. I feel old because you told me about how people don't get my Seinfeld references. At 27, were you watching Seinfeld when new episodes were coming on? I don't think you were. I remember when the new episode would come out, like the next day at school. That's really all we talked about. Um, Now I don't really watch television when new episodes come on. Mostly because I'm never home, but and I don't have a cable service. But uh, I guess I don't know. Is that a thing, or is everything just streaming now? We just binge watch it all. Um, I don't know. Things are changing. Things are changing. I'm getting old. Shaking my fist. Happy early birthday, Mason. Welcome back to the Instagram Live. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, I was in Scotland last week. It was a very good trip. I have to post some photos because I wore the velvet suit to my sister-in-law's wedding, and it was a beautiful wedding, and I enjoyed wearing that suit. So anyway, I think all the photos look great. Bruh, the gray weft showing through. That gray weft. Which gray weft? I'm not sure what we're talking about. You should make denim inspired by my hair, black and gray. Oh, that would make a cool jean, but I don't want it to be inspired by my hair. The United States is getting bigger. Is it getting bigger? People getting fatter. Oh man, I think the questions I'm reading are a little behind. Sorry, a lot of stuff coming through. Jonas is aging with you. The size they're going to going up makes sense. Yeah, that is true. A lot of time and man hours. Could you do a hemp denim? Is a thing. We have done a hemp denim, and it is a thing, and we are actually reissuing the hemp denim. It should be coming in the fall, maybe the end of October. I think I might have some stock. James Dant, thanks for joining us here today on the live stream. Don't want to be as big as the Gap. I don't really want to be as big as the Gap, but I wouldn't mind being a little bit as big as the Gap. I mean, come on. Imagine, for me, it's like I see all these big retailers going down, and to me, it's like, yeah, there's a good reason. You walk into some of these stores, and nobody helps you. Nobody knows anything about the products that they're selling you. And I'm not trying to say that if we were to make a bunch of stores, I don't want to have that mega store. That the giant, humongous stores. Stores that are reasonably sized. They feel like a Tate and Yoko or Naked and Famous New York, where you go in, you're serviced properly, just like many of our retail partners. That's people talk about retail dying, and it's not dying. It's actually getting really good for the people who are really good at it. And if you think that the model of just open a store and stack the tables with stuff and really cheap is what people are after nowadays, I don't think so. People want good things. People are smarter. So maybe you are making good things, and your customers just don't know about it because you don't tell those stories. But I think that's where the disconnect is. Yeah, I'd love to have more stores and selling more jeans and more of our Canadian-made jeans throughout the world. That's naturally, I want more people to be wearing raw denim jeans. So yeah, I mean, a little bit of what the Gap is would be nice. I mean, a lot of people don't know the history of that company, and it's like they used to be, and I'm sure they still are one of the biggest jeans retailers in America. So that's something to aspire to. Megatron in a silver with a black Savage ID. Megatron in silver. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Emperor of Slug will have all the bells and whistles at MIG. It sure will. What have I missed? I don't know. What have you missed? Me talking about nostalgia stuff. JoJo's collab. A lot of people ask me for that one. Maybe I Love Lucy vintage print. Yeah, sometimes I think about some of those older shows that even when I was a kid, they were in mega reruns. I don't know if there's a lot of nostalgia for that in people in our general age group of our raw denim audience. So I'm not sure. I'm trying to read through a lot of these questions, but I think I'm a little bit far behind. So I'm just going to scroll all the way down. And if I missed your question, I'm sorry about that. When I see the quality of your denim, I hope that one day you will make a Berserk collab. Would be awesome one. Yeah, more anime collabs could be fun. We'll just have to see. What would I really like to do? I don't know. You know what? Right now we've got Dragon Ball, and trying to. That's a pretty tall, mountain for us. If to follow that up, I don't know how one would even do that. Show Toxic Avenger, please. I will. I'll show you some Toxic Avenger today. My pair of Vegeta is air drying after the additional soak. I'm hyped. Well, show your results with everybody. People are going to be very interested to see, what your home soak is like. I did it in a washing machine, hot water, with a hot dryer. So I went maximum. NFL, CFL team collabs. I did talk about team stuff with Brandon today. I'm not sure about the sports thing. It's a little regional for us. I'm not sure about that one. Back to the Future, 007, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown could be cool. I have the entire 007 movie catalog at home, and I haven't watched them all, but as maybe some of you don't know, I'm a bit of a movie collector, but sometimes what happens is I get the movies that I want, and they go on my shelf, and then I feel like, I'm going to watch it anytime I want, and then I never watch them. Frozen-inspired pair would work. Yeah, I do like Frozen. Disney would be cool. I wouldn't mind partnering with Disney. Any thoughts on what happened to the flathead? And if it was a company-specific issue or an industry one? I mean, I don't want to talk about. I mean, I don't know. The real answer is I don't know. We at Tete and Yoko carried Flathead, but I mean, it was a radio silence from them for a long time. So I'm not sure. I think that a lot of Japanese brands have a difficult time dealing with exports. And it's not just apparel. It's a lot of products. There's a lot of products that are only in Japan, and Japanese companies sometimes are stuck in the past and they don't know how to deal with international distribution. And I think that's mostly, I don't know, maybe that's what it came down to, or maybe the boss just got tired of it all and didn't want to do anything. I'm not sure. I have no idea, really. I can speculate, but, what's the point of speculating? I don't want to put out any information there that has no, there's no concrete. Is there no concrete to it? Is that a saying? They're not concrete ideas? Whatever. Anyways, I'm not really sure what happened. I mean, there's a thread on Reddit that people have kind of put in their 2 cents. And I talked a little bit about just the industry in general without being specific to one brand or another. But I think it might boil down to, the market in Japan for raw denim is not the same as it is in North America. Whereas in North America, it's, you have your heritage guys, then you have your, everyday guys. You got your, blue jeans and boots and flannel shirt wearing guys. There's a lot of different, there's the hip hop and streetwear guys. There's a lot of different, not just guys, girls too. Sorry if I'm, everybody. When I say guys, I mean everybody. So I feel like the market here, and even in the market in Europe, it's a little bit more widespread. Whereas raw denim and that vintage look is a very specific customer base in Japan. They tend to be a little bit older. Some of these guys, this is nostalgia for them, when they're buying and wearing jeans, because when they were kids, they couldn't get jeans, or if they did, it was like this really super rare thing to have. So they're kind of reliving those kind of emotions. So that aesthetic doesn't really appeal a lot to younger people, and a lot of brands have found that the export market, North America, Canada, Europe, parts of Asia have appreciation for that, but they don't wear it the same way, so it doesn't have this kind of like old man kind of vibe. But so the brands that got really good at distribution and partnering with retailers, they're the ones who are still, they're the ones who are going to last through this. In Japan, that existing market, I think it's shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. I remember a couple of years ago, I don't know if you guys know, but there was a lot of Japanese denim or like, vintage style magazines. And one of them is a magazine called Lightning. And I remember talking with some of the people at Lightning magazine, and they were talking to me about how they're planning on launching a new magazine. And I don't even know if the magazine exists anymore, but it was called Lightning Zero. And I have a couple of issues here. And it was targeted for young people. And that's why they kind of liked our brand and they wanted to feature us in it, because we didn't go that like ultra heritage vibe. While we had the quality behind it, we weren't a repro brand. So I think even them, like as a magazine, they're like, okay, well, we still need an audience to sell our magazine to. So I think even back then, they really saw the writing on the wall. Like, we need to do something about our industry, bring more people in, younger people. But I think they struggle with that. And maybe that's part of the reason why some of these brands go down. I went on a rant there. I know Unbranded is essentially anti-hype, but is there anything new coming up for them that you can share? Can I share it? I can share it, but I can't share the details. Pronto Denim Carnival 2019. We always release a brand new Pronto jean exclusive at the Denim Carnival, and this year is no different. But we will have that jean available also on Tate and Yoko for the first time ever. In the past, we had a handful of pieces that we would make available, but we're gonna have the same jean that we have at the show, full size runs available on Tate and Yoko, and that's gonna happen end of November. So stay tuned for that one. Do you guys have a pair of jeans that have a 501 look with a straight fit, not tight? See, actually, I was in California at Berkeley. Where were we at Berkeley? Slash is in Berkeley, right? Yeah. Sorry, my. And so I was over at Slash Denim a couple of weeks ago in Berkeley, and I don't know if am I drinking White Claw? No, I'm drinking Fresca. It's it's just fizzy soda water. I've become basically that's all I drink. Fizzy soda water and coffee and tea. But I have cases of this stuff. I love it. Okay, where was I? I was at Slash Denim, and a lot of people don't realize that they've been selling jeans for a long time, and they have this great, if you want vintage Levi's, they have very good assortment of them. And I was talking to the owner there, and she's been selling jeans for decades, and she was talking to me about how 501, it's gone through so many iterations over the years that, a lot of people will ask me, oh, what fits closest to 501? I'm like, which 501? There's no standard 501 fit. I don't even know really what it means anymore. So I could be wrong. I mean, I don't really follow Levi's all that much, but it's like, it's so hard to tell you what an equivalent fit to that model would be, because that model has changed a lot. So if you're looking for looking for a straight, what were you looking for? Straight fit, not tight. Straight fit, not tight. I don't really have a straight fit, not tight. My weird guy might be okay. It's a gradual taper instead of an aggressive taper. It's not tight at all unless you wear it tight. And we also have the strong guy, which is a wide straight. If you want like that kind of heritage style fit, we've got you covered there. I used to drink Fresca when I was a youngin'. Okay, well, I'm an old dude and I'm drinking it. The weird guys need like an inch and a half to stop the plumber's crack. Maybe. That's kind of the thing. It's like, I always talk about this with Risa, and sometimes we get feedback from people, and it's like, I wish your particular fit, what I was say, weird guy, fit like this, and that. But I'm like, well, it wouldn't be the weird guy. But I know what you're saying. I mean, if we had a little bit of a higher rise, I think we could use a few more fits. I want to do a slimmer boot cut. I think I've talked about that before. Something that isn't as groovy as the groovy guy, maybe. And maybe a more aggressive version of the weird guy with a taper. Like, not quite as wide in the thigh as the easy guy, but maybe something like just a little bit slimmer at the bottom. In Japan, in terms of quality, who's number one? Naked and Famous, MIJ, of course. In fact, that is my personal, honest to goodness answer. Even if I wasn't associated here, that is my opinion, the best produced jean made in Japan. If you're looking for a longer front rise to drop the crotch a bit and avoid the whole moose knuckle thing, could you recommend a fit or cut? A longer front rise to drop the crotch a bit. Yeah, get the easy guy. The easy guy. Strong guys are great. I like the strong guy. I wear a lot. Weirder guy. Yeah, that would be cool. Like a little bit higher rise. I think I wouldn't name it weirder guy. I think it would confuse the heck out of people. But I wear the easy guy, and you can see it here today. I'm wearing it a little loose. I mean, I could size down 1, even 2 probably, and still be comfortable. But I have a lot of room here. But if I size down, it would be like a high rise with a slimmer leg and a slimmer leg opening. If I size down a bit. But these are the True Grits. These are part of the spring collection, spring 20. You can see it coming along really nicely, starting to fade really well. So looking forward to putting some more wear time in these and wash time. What is that little string hanging? Consider selling more. I don't know. Do people want to buy denim origami? I'm not really sure. I love my slims, so I just deal with the fact that I'm sorry. I love my slim, so I just deal with the fact that they'll never not be sagging to get them where I like them in the leg. I don't know anyone in the world who makes a high-rise slim. Not for men. Women have lots of high-rise slim options. Men, not so much. It might be a cool thing, a high rise. Like, I like the rise of the groovy guy. I don't know if I have, it's not our most popular fit, so I don't know how many of you guys ever tried groovy guy on. But the groovy guy rise is really good. It's really high. My only gripe with the groovy guy rise is that because it's so high, when I sit down, it really just starts to cut me off a little bit in like my stomach area. Maybe that needs to be tweaked around a little bit if we were to do another fit. But high rise or like drop crotch, that's the way to go. What were the lot sizes for the Vegeta release? I don't know. I can't tell you offhand how many we had per size. Can I see the Trunks patina pair? I actually have them in the store right now, so I don't have them with me. So I did post some photos online on the Instagram last night or this afternoon. I don't remember. Both, probably. So check out those photos. Yeah, that's the way to go there. Hold on while I take another sip. Not an ad for Fresca, but if the Fresca people are watching, you can send me some Fresca. I'm sad. Okay, I'll look. I mean, I've definitely covered them a few times, so don't be too sad. The photos I posted are pretty good. Like 40 pairs of Strong Guy 50 easy. 40 pairs of Strong Guy 50. What do you mean? 40 pairs of Strong Guy 50 and easy. How have the DBZ initial sales compared to your expectation? I'd say they absolutely met my expectation in the sense that I knew that we would be selling out of certain sizes very quickly. And yeah, it's totally within what I expected to happen. So I mean, I think I warned a lot of people about the measurement guides, because I knew that we would bring on a lot of new customers as well, people who saw the Dragon Ball collection and want to get in on that. So following the measurement guides, because I know that exchanges are going to be difficult because I'm going to be sold out of sizes. So people might get a size, they get it home, they realize it's way too small because they didn't pay attention to the measurement guide. Then they want to exchange for a bigger size, and I won't have the size, and I know it'll be another set of issues in about a week. So I'll keep you posted. Look up the Akumas on our Raw Denim, so the Reddit Raw Denim thread, for a good look at the trunks fades. That is true. If you really want to see what those trunks jeans are going to look like, you can check them out on the Raw Denim subreddit. But I have some faded trunks jeans here, so I could even show you myself. So not looking forward to those issues. No, I'm not really looking forward to those issues. You know, as much as you can try to prevent your problems from happening, you know, when you're in retail, there's certain problems that you know are going to show up. So, you know, of course, you do your best to try to prevent them, but sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. And we're pretty good. I mean, you know, I like to treat our customers the way I like to be treated at retail. But, I mean, we certainly deal with all kinds of... I should do an entire podcast on the weird problems that are thrown our way. And you know, I'm not saying that we're not perfect. You know, there's sometimes we screw up, and you know, that's we do our best to fix those problems. But boy, do I! It's you know what? It's the weirdest request that drive me crazy, because I have to answer like the weirdest questions sometimes, and I don't want to talk about some of them because maybe they're watching. They're going to know that I'm talking about them. But here's one thing like that I don't get. You know, jeans are jeans. You know, they're a cotton material garment, and I think most people recognize that jeans don't last forever. You wear them in, especially raw jeans. You wear them in, you destroy them. So, of course, holes and things are going to happen. In fact, we encourage that type of behavior. And then you'll get people who are like, why did my jeans rip? I've only been wearing them for 2 years without washing them. I literally had to deal with a guy who was a bike messenger who wore his jeans every day for 8 months, never washed them, and wondered why his crotch tore out, and just wouldn't accept that is normal wear and tear on a pair of jeans. You know, people have this odd idea that, you know, they'll throw it back in my face, and this is the weirdest thing that people will say. These are $180 jeans. They shouldn't do that. And I always just want to say back, well, you could buy a Ferrari and then crash it. You could just drive it right into a brick wall, and then it'll break. And that was, you know, how much does a Ferrari cost? A lot of money. And just because things cost a lot doesn't mean that they don't break if you don't treat them right. So it's to me, or like, you know, if I don't know what some people do in their jeans, but some people are pretty hard on their jeans. And, you know, I've had my jeans for however many months, and something happened to them. And clearly, you know, sometimes it's very clear that they've worn their jeans 3 sizes too small. And the reason I know this is because when seams bust, and you can tell when a seam busts because it's very clean, it's because the things are too tight. And, you know, they'll say, oh, well, I've only had them for 2 months and the seams burst. And I'm like, well, you've been wearing jeans that have been too small for 2 months, and the seams burst. And look, I'm not trying to tell people to go to hell. I'll try to help them out as much as possible. But some people's expectation is, are way above what makes sense. What's reasonable in that circumstance. And I always think, if you go and buy the newest iPhone, you spend $1,000 or more on a cell phone, and you walk outside of the Apple store and you take it out of the brand new box and you drop it on the ground and the screen breaks. You turn around and you walk back in the store, they're not going to give you a new phone, So it's kind of weird that that kind of stuff happens. Yeah, I mean, look, do we have a repair service? We do here in Montreal, like if you bring it in store, but a lot of people don't realize is that this isn't rocket science, repairing jeans. Your local tailor shop can repair your jeans just as well as our little jean repair center here. We have a seamstress who comes in on her own time a couple times a week, and she just does her repairs, and she goes home. It's a very lovely Italian lady. And she's retired, and, she just likes working, so she does all of her repairs. But for us to do a repair service, you'd have to send the jeans in, sending them up Canada, anywhere in the States, it could be like $15, $20. It's going to be whatever the charge is for the repair, and you're going to be responsible for the shipping back. So if you think about it, you're looking at, $60 or so just to get a crotch repaired. You can take that to your local tailor shop, and for $20, they'll patch your jeans. I mean, that's the reality, is that jeans are not this, we're not dealing with a custom tailored suit here. This is a cotton product. Anybody who knows how to, deal with repairs, any tailor shop can fix your jeans, and they'll do it for cheap. So it doesn't have to be this very, very complicated thing. So don't treat it like that. These are just jeans. I've seen too many local tailors tapering the outseam and destroying selvage, let alone darning. Okay, well, to answer that, so that is part your responsibility to let the tailor know how you want the alteration to happen, because a tailor looks at a pair of jeans and they see, okay, well, the inseam of that jean is a felled inseam. If it's a felled inseam, it's very difficult for them to taper that from the inseam, because they don't have a felling machine. That's where, if I had two hands, I'd do, but that's where the fabric kind of wraps in on itself. This way and then this way. So it's kind of like sandwiched in between and sewn in. So it's very clean, but it's very difficult to alter that. So either they have to open that up and refell it, which they don't have a felling machine, or they would finish it differently than it was already made, which is a possibility, which is what you should tell them to do. Or they'll do it from the outseam, because it's very easy, because the outseam is straight. So most people will do it from the outseam, and the idea, the concept of this selvage edge line doesn't exist anywhere else in fashion except for in the raw denim industry. So you have to understand that most tailors don't, your local tailor shop probably isn't a denim nerd, so you need to instruct them a little bit on that. I have a pair of Lee overalls from the 30s that are selvage, and there's no selvage outseam. I have other garments that we had made here in Canada using Canadian-made selvage denim, where they surged over the selvage edge back in the day, because it didn't matter. It wasn't like a styling detail or part of the jean the way it is today. So you have to understand that a patch repair, hole repair, that kind of stuff, no problem. Doing tapering of your jeans, give them a little bit more instruction and you'll be fine. Would you guys ever do a felled in jeans in the clean inseam? We do. Depends on the fit. Some jeans have felled inseam, some have overlock. Okay. I think I lost a couple of questions there. It seems to have deleted. My local tailor can't handle raw denim. I bet you they could. I bet you they could. Is there any reason you went with a 34-inch inseam on the Vegetas, knowing they will shrink quite a bit? No. They were probably pre-soak. The thing is, they shrunk a little bit up in the production, so I'm not actually sure what the initial actual inseam was before. So in production, there's a final press where they have like a giant iron with steam in it. They press the jeans in order to get them nice and flat, and they fold them up nice. And I think that hot steam and that press shrunk the jeans a little bit, and that's why the pre-soak measurements are already small, and then of course after shrink they shrunk up a little bit. But we try to grade the jeans out based off of the shrinkage rate, but the shrinkage rate isn't always, it's not a science, When we get the sample rolls, because the sample rolls is what we base our production on, the shrinkage rate on the sample rolls could be a little bit different than the shrinkage rate on the production rolls. So it gets a little fishy sometimes. We try our best. Check out Science and Kindness in Minneapolis. Dude does incredible work for the nerds. Great for y'all middle American dudes that don't want to ship to California. Okay, well, that's a good recommendation. If you're a Toronto denim nerd, Dr. Denim does wonderful and cheap darning, and Dutil does a nice taper for the inseam. Yes, and Ben via Piana also does some good work as well. He's a good friend of the brand over here. He helped tune some of our union specials. Any sign of Okayama Spirit 4? I missed out on the previous ones. We will do an Okayama Spirit 4 at some point. There is a Japan Heritage All Black coming out next spring. So that stuff all comes from the same mill. So that gritty denim, they do a really good job of that stuff. So we like using them for the Japan Heritage Okayama Spirit kind of range. And the Vegetas also came from that mill as well. So that's why it is. I mean, if you want an Okayama Spirit looking jean, get the Vegetas, because that's the closest thing there is to them right now. Oh yeah, Toxic Avenger. Okay, let's do it. So, I'm going to do this one-handed trick again, which I'm not very good at yet. So, let's just go over the details. We've got Toxie, hideously deformed jean of super denim size and strength. That is because, like the Toxic Avenger, this is a hideously deformed denim. It's a left-hand twill, right-hand twill, broken twill, alternating weave denim with a slightly green weft, because of course Toxie is green. Made from organic cotton, because he is a crusader for the environment. And just for those people who, some people may not get the logo, but you've got the classic Toxic Avenger logo up here. And then down here, this is this kind of like, splotch, and Naked and Famous denim. It's in orange, and you can see the little Toxic weight, symbol in here. That's from the Toxic Crusaders logo. So I basically took the Toxic Crusaders logo and made a Naked and Famous denim version, and then tied it in with Toxic Avenger. So you've got the Toxic Crusader and Toxic Avenger logo kind of mixed together. So that's the backstory on the logo there. You've got the Toxie embroidery here on the back pocket. The comic book cover leather patch. That's from the Marvel Comics Toxic Avenger series. On the inside, you have the pink pocket bags. Oh, sorry. See, this is where I always struggle. If you can see that nicely. You've got the I've been traumatized symbol here. And this is, again, from the comic book series. Become an honorary citizen of Tromaville. Enjoy the traumatic life. This is joining the Trauma fan club. That address probably does not work anymore. But it's, I thought it was a great graphic, and I thought it would make a great pocket bag. And the other pocket bag is Toxie here. Again, so you've got Toxie here kicking the crap out of these gym dudes. Smashing them with the barbell. Boom. So yeah, if you're a fan of, this type of horror film, or even if you're not, you should definitely check out this movie. It is a lot of fun. It is. If you like violence and guts and gore and comedy and love and romance, it really has it all. I'm surprised it hasn't won, numerous awards for being the greatest film of all time. Is it the greatest film of all time? It's one of my favorite films, that's for sure. I'm more of a Wes Craven Swamp Thing fan myself, but Toxic Avenger, they're very kind of similar, I guess. How do you hem raw denim? Should you soak wash them first? It depends. If they're unsanforized, like if it's a shrink to fit model, even then you can just give yourself like an inch, and you should be fine. Interesting that Marvel greenlit the use of the Marvel's Toxie, but not other collabs. That's 'cause Troma owned the artwork for all of this stuff. So we got everything through Troma. No news of the Vegeta and the French retailers. We're still looking for them. I know. We for some of the retailers we've already shipped them. I just don't know why they didn't put them up. Then again, I don't know what their workload is like. They're probably getting a lot of product right now, especially this time of year. So, yeah. In some ways, like working with smaller independent retailers is easier because, if I email the buyer of a department store in France, that information doesn't always get down to where it needs to be. Whereas, when I work with independent retailers, I'm emailing the buyer who's often the owner, and so things work a little bit smoother that way. Escape from New York, Snake Plissken, Snow Camo Jean. That'd be fun. I watched Escape from New York just the other day again. I really I don't know. I enjoy, because I'm a Metal Gear fan, so, making all those Metal Gear connections is fun. I think I had more fun making the Metal Gear connections. You know what? I've never watched Escape from L.A., and I own it, and I know I have to watch it. But there's certainly a lot of iconic moments in Escape from New York. Will the Emperor of Slapjack be unsanforized or one wash? It is going to be one wash, so you're not going to have to worry about that. It'll be tempe treated. Yeah. Okay. Akira. Yeah. I do appreciate all of the suggestions. Believe me, practically everything you guys have pointed out, I've been working on. So, They Live collab. There is that would be really great. By the way, I do enjoy They Live a lot. To me, it's like one of those things where has enough of our audience watched They Live to know to be excited for a They Live collaboration. John Carpenter, right? Yeah, pretty sure that's John Carpenter. Saint Seiya, did you think of this one? I think that, well, okay, Roddy Piper, Selvage Kilt. Boy, would that be, They Live would be a good one. I'm not going to lie, but I wonder if that would be, recognizable enough for most folks. I don't know. It's just, I'm at the age where I'm like, I don't know if young people know any of this stuff. Face Off. Dude, you know what? I just got the movie Mandy with Nicolas Cage, and I haven't seen it yet, but I really want to watch it. I hear it's very good. And I do enjoy a good Nicolas Cage movie. So, you know what other movie I really liked him in was Kick-Ass. I really liked the Kick-Ass movies. Those were good. The NYC staff are awesome. Every time I stop by, they're always super helpful and know their denim. That's right. That's why we have them there. For us, like I was talking about you earlier, I don't want your jean buying experience to be impersonal. I want you to go into the store, any of the stores, partners that we work with, and be able to have a good experience because you're speaking to someone who knows about what they're selling you, and they're making sure that what they're selling you is what's the right thing for you, and not just selling you something either. So I'm glad you had a great experience. I do love hearing when people have a good time there. I think the Chinese New Year to the denim that we used for the vulgar selvage, and this is a beautifully worn-in pair of the vulgars. So you can see for yourself just how beautiful they look. Also I've there's a lot more of my jeans on this. I just emptied out my closet the other day and all of the jeans that don't fit me anymore. So I just brought them into the office and threw them up on the wall. Here's one of my this is my pair of jeans. So I repair myself. Repairs are very easy, and just take a piece of fabric and sew it in, and you'll be good to go. You don't always need to rely on a tailor either. Most of the stuff is just stuff you can do on your own. That's one of my pairs of deep indigos. This is my pair of dirty fades, so I wore that for a long time. And there's another repair I did in here that was a good repair. Patched it up. I had a piece of Sashiko fabric, and in fact, I patched this up in a hotel room in Kobe. I just asked the lobby for a sewing kit, and I was actually we were on a work trip, so I just came from a fabric mill, and this is one of the sample fabrics they gave me. So I just sewed it into the crotch of my jeans and fixed my jeans while on that trip. And then that part happened, and then I was like, okay, I think I'm done. But I could fix that still too. But it didn't make much sense because at that point these were already small on me, so I retired them. Here's a pair of this is a rare pair. The flathead Naked Famous Hachi and Yoko jeans. We only made 50 of these, but the reality is we actually made 51 pairs of these, and this is 51, or pair 00. This one was not numbered, and this is the pair that I wore. I wore these for quite a while, and I got too fat for them, so I cannot wear them anymore. So anyways, very, very nice denim, of course. And this is our weird guy fit, so a modern fit in a flathead. That was probably the first time they did anything like that. This is a very nice collaboration at the time. I think it shook a lot of people's perceptions of our brand and the kind of partnership that we were having with a lot of these brands that are wow, we introduced that brand to a lot of people, and we're fans of that brand. We're like, whoa, there's a collaboration with Naked and Famous. There's got to be something to this, and I think that helps kind of bridge the gap. These old guard kind of raw denim nerds, and warm them up to the idea of what we're doing. Because if brands like Flathead see in us, then we think have to another jean of mine. So I'm walking down my lane with all my jeans. MIJ 3s. So I wore these quite a while. Somebody on the forum the other day was talking about kind of I saw the wash and they were the and I got a bunch of them in here because I use the washing machine. Okay, I'm cut off because the hour limit is